So here at Maclean with Comfortably Numb. Haven't seen these guys since Townsville last year. And here we are back together at Maclean. How you going, Ruthie?
Hi Rob, how are you? Welcome to Maclean. No cheese Vickies, you're not getting any because you've already tried some.
Well, we don't wear skimpy bikinis. Hell, it frightens me when I take my shirt off. There's definitely no one pregnant here. This is motor sailing for old dudes. We do live on a boat and we do cruise extensively along the Australian coast. Join us and visit some great destinations. Learn how to look after a boat and live off grid. It might even get you enthused to do the same thing. Hey, stay out there till you can't. Well, this morning we're off to Grafton and Yamba. I'm going to put a new waterlock muffler on the genset, so I've got to go and get a bit of hose in Grafton and then drive to where my car is in Yamba and get the muffler out of the boot. So here's the new waterlock muffler I'm going to put in. I've had to adapt it down from 50mm down to 38, so that'll fit my exhaust hose, and it's quite manoeuvrable. I can move it all around so that I can get it all lined up. So I'll get down in there, cut a hose and yeah, fit it, I guess. So this is the exhaust hose for the genset. It runs down and into that stainless elbow there and runs up into the genset. Now I've got to cut the muffler in here somehow, so that's where it's got to go in. So we're just going to try and do that now. Should be a fun job. So the finished job, waterlock muffler here, outlet to the exhaust there, in from the genset there, and that should make it a lot quieter. Now all that's left to do is put every bloody thing away. It's amazing when you work on a boat how you open every locker, pull all your tools out, pull different things out, grinders, drills, and then when you finish you've got to put everything back in its place. Well, it's time to test out the new muffler. Wow, that's a lot better and about 70 decibels quieter. So where are we off to, Ruthie?
We're off to the bowls pub to play poker, and
you're the defending champion.
Yeah, so I'll put that on the table.
Okay.
Final table, winner of the final table last week, so I hope I can take it home with me again.
I'll bet 500.
This is Ruth's poker face.
Lady Gaga.
Oh, you want a wine? Despite Ruth's skill, she lost the shirt off her back. Well, at Maclean here, we're on the pontoon and just looking for something to do, so I've decided to top and tail my anchor chain. It's always good to do this because I carry 60 metres of chain and I only use about 30, so when I installed it I marked it up so that there's 30 being used, but that 30 I've been using that for probably a couple of years now, and what I'm going to do is just change the well-geld end for the end that's been on the bottom a lot. This will do us another year or two, I guess, and then when I'm back in Bundaberg I'll get the whole thing re-galvanised, so That's the plan. I'm just going through the job of top and tailing the chain. So I pulled the anchor over onto the dock, and I've got all the chain off it, and I've just taken the old end of the chain off the swivel, and now I'm going to put the new end back into the swivel. The swivel comes apart. There's a bit that goes through the chain and a locking screw that goes in there. So what I've got to do is just put this into the swivel. Now be careful, because the swivel's got a square end, and you've got to be careful which way this goes in so that it follows the profile of the swivel as well. So that drops in there, but I've got to put the end link of the chain in there first. Put that in, and then the screw goes in there and holds it all together. But what I do is use a bit of Loctite on it. Bit of 243, and that just makes sure that that screw's never going to come loose. Bit too much Loctite there, but anyway. The swivel's rated at 5,000 kilos. So when I've got it off, I just check it all out, make sure your shackle's okay, look for any cracks or anything like that. Check the swivel, and yeah, it all looks pretty good. So that's top and tailed now, and now it's time to get the chain back in the locker. So up through the bow roller, down through the spurling pipe. I can take this cover off if I get really keen, but feed down there okay. So back into the locker, press that button and I'll feed it on a bit. Yep. Keep going. What I've got here is a pretty heavy duty plastic bag. Cut a couple of holes in the bottom there. I'm going to put that down in the anchor well, and the chain that I've just top and tailed, because all the gell's pretty well off it, I'm going to put it in this bag, and then I'm going to coat it pretty heavily with Lanatec to make sure it doesn't rust, because if you put that back in your locker and let it rust and it gets flaky rust on it, it makes it really hard to gel again. So I'm going to put it in this bag and put a fair bit of Lanatec over the top of it. That's it, job's done. All I've got to do now is put all the spare anchor back in the locker. That's the next chore. Well, we've been on the pontoon at Maclean for a couple of nights, and there's a couple of other boats want to come in, so do the right thing and get off. And the plan is to head back down the river to Harwood. If the pontoon there's available, I'll tie up on the pontoon for the night, because we've got to book the bridge to get under the bridge tomorrow, so I'll do that in a minute. And yeah, we'll see whether we can get on the pontoon at Harwood. If we can't, we'll just drop the pick and we can get in there in the dinghy. We've decided to eat out tonight at the Harwood Hilton, so it's just a quick trip across the road from the pontoon and some good meals here, I believe. The next morning we get the bridge open. I'm not sure, but I think it needs oiling. Follow some other friends I met in Townsville last year, Matt and Tracy on Velamo down the river. A little bit of shallow water to navigate through here. I'm just coming the back way up to the tavern, so down to about 1.4, but I think we might be able to sneak in alright. We'll save a bit of distance going the long way round. Tavern last night, it was good, but I'm looking forward to getting back on anchor again, so I'm just going to head over to Iluka and I think I'll spend a night over there tonight, maybe tomorrow night. I think Sunday's probably a good day to skip up to Ballina, so that's the plan. But I'll go over to Iluka, hang off the pick there, and see how we go. I just come ashore here at Iluka, and they knocked the old pub down. The old Sedges Reef is gone now, and they've got a temporary pub up here, so I'm just going to go up and see what it's like. Drop my rubbish off first, I think. This is where the old pub used to be, and it looks like they're underway and doing a bit of work to get the new one up. So the next time I come here, maybe we'll be able to have a drink at the new pub. But before that, I've got to go up to the temporary pub. Let's go and have a look. Yeah, the roof probably doesn't leak. What you can do with a couple of shipping containers, eh? They've got a good little temporary pub going here, looks alright. Let's go and get a beer. Bet you it's cash only. Well, a nice little afternoon at the Sedges Reef. Had a beer up there and talked to a few friends. It was good. And yeah, just back to the boat, having a quiet dinner. And I think I'm looking at the weather, and I think that tomorrow I'm going to head up to Ballina. Not much difference in the swell between tomorrow and Sunday, so I got a little bit of breeze there for getting up there. So I think I might get on it about, probably get up and have breakfast and head off after that. So if I'm getting into Ballina, it's great because it breaks the trip up in half. So it takes probably about 6 or 7 hours to get to Ballina. It'll probably take me 10 or 12 hours to get right up to the Gold Coast. So you're good to get into Ballina. I know that when I get there, I'm going to have to stay there for about a week because the swells are getting up again next week. So I'll be comfy enough in the river. But very pleasant here at Iluka tonight. Great spot. Swells were still up as we headed out of the Clarence River, but we did manage to get a little bit of sail out as we headed towards Ballina. Once again we surfed into the Richmond River. We had to spend a couple of days there for the swells to die out because we knew we were going to cross the bar at night time to get up to the Gold Coast, where we're going to fit our new nav package. See you next week, dudes.